Hello! So today I'm just going to show you how I personally do a cut crease, and I had no idea what look I was going to film before I even did this, so I just kind of winged it. So let's get it. And basically, to start off, I'm just going to prime my eyes, and I just use a concealer, the Glamouflage Concealer by Hard Candy to be specific, and then I set it with a matching powder. And then I'm going to take some of the Sugar Pill Pro Shadow in the shade Butter Cupcake on a shader brush and just really try to place that yellow in my crease really heavy, and then proceed to blend it out with this big white fluffy blending brush that I got from Wet n Wild. It was like $2 from the drugstore. And then just really trying to blend that out so we just have a really smooth transition from the start, since it is a really bright shade to begin with. Then I'm going to take a bright orange shade. I got this one from the Morphe 35O palette. It doesn't really matter which one you use out of there, but basically just start throwing that into my crease using really small windshield wiper motions, just so like the yellow and the orange are still separate, but they blend together where they're supposed to, if that makes sense. And you can also take like a peach shadow to help with this, to kind of merge them together. And that's what I did. I just took kind of a lighter peach shade from the Morphe 35O palette and just used that to blend those two a little bit smoother. But for the most part, just use those small windshield wiper motions and kind of little tiny circular motions. And then I continue to just barely blend it out with this really, really fluffy blending brush. It's not stiff at all, so I really feel like it does really light blending without being, too blending. That makes no sense, but you know what I mean. And then just continuing to add back in that pigment, because I feel like we kind of do lose pigment from the light shades when we blend them out. So throughout this whole entire look, I just recommend just kind of always adding that back in. But basically, I had no idea what I wanted to do after I did this, if that's obvious at all. So I took a break, and then when I came back, I forgot to, press record. So then we're here, and basically I just put Love Letter and Red Ochre by Modern Renaissance, but in the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I took that, put that in my crease, but only in the inner part. And then right now I'm starting to carve it out with concealer and also fixing my eyebrow, because my eyebrows get obliterated during this whole process. But I'll start carving it out with a flat synthetic brush and concealer and really try to get a flat, even surface where I want. I really want to emphasize that negative space right there. I really want it to be completely clean, to have it look just like I did when we primed it, even though not much really got on my lid. But you know what I'm saying. And then I'm going to set that with a matching powder or a translucent powder, or like whatever powder you want. Like, who cares? Like, do what you want. Makeup's all subjective. Who cares? Who cares what I think? Who cares what anybody thinks? Anyway, moving on. I just continue to blend those shadows together to just get it really nice and smooth and sharp, because it's called a cut crease, not a dull crease. If you know what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I start by also adding in some shades into the inner corner. I added a freaking yellow right there. Sorry, I'm like blinded. I can't find my glasses, so I'm like trying to do this, but I'm like, what did I do here? Anyway, so I added in a yellow, and then I put in that same bright orange from earlier, and then I blended together with the shade Dolly Pop by Sugar Pill as well, and that's just a pink. So it just mixed it together really nice and gave me a kind of reddish shade, with it kind of being pink but not too pink, because I didn't want this to be very pink. I wanted it to be very fiery. And then it's eyeliner time, and basically this is like the biggest bitch in the whole world for me, like when I'm doing cut creases, is eyeliner, just because I have the smallest eyeballs in the universe. So basically getting the eyeliner the shape that I want it to go with the cut crease is so hard. So I always just take my time with this and just hope that I don't mess up. And then I always like nick it a little bit too high up so it gets thicker, but I don't mind that because I really love a big like thick eyeliner. And yeah, I go so slow on this just because it takes some time, man. I also like carve out, and then I like sharpen it. I sharpen up the concealer around my eyes. And then I will add red ochre and love letter to my lower lash line, and then proceed to blend that out with the bright orange from the Morphe palette, and then the sugar pill shade Buttercup Cake from earlier. I fucking hate that name, Buttercup Cake. It's so cute, but it's just too cute, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, continuing to like kind of just clean it up and carve it out, make sure my eyeliner is nice and sharp. And then making sure the cut crease itself is sharp and clean. I think that's just like this point in my makeup is just where I'm kind of just trying to touch up everything that I can on my eyeballs. So just making sure everything's as blended as I can get it, at least by this point. And then I'm going to take some of the NYX Total Control drops in the shade Porcelain because I'm so white. And I'm just taking a few drops of that, mixing it with my moisturizer. I don't use a primer or anything because I have like the driest skin ever. So for me personally, this works just fine because I don't really need that much coverage. I just kind of want to even out my skin tone, kind of cover up some freckles that I have, but let my skin breathe a little bit, and then clean up my eyebrow for like the 17th time. Jeez Louise. And then I'm going to conceal my problem areas, which is like around my nose, like on my nose bridge, and then like I have a breakout on my forehead. So that too. And then I'm going to put mascara on, and I put mascara on the tops and bottoms of my eyelashes, if that makes any sense. Just because I have blonde eyelashes, and it looks weird because you will have blonde eyelashes on the top. It's crazy, man. I don't know if that's relatable. I don't know if that's relatable these days. And then again, just trying to make sure everything's just nice and put together. And then I'm going to contour, and I'm using the shade Fawn from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And then I'm also using, fucking cleaning up my eyebrow again, Jesus. And then basically blending out that contour with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Light. And just making sure that shit's all blended out. Then I'm going to highlight just like in the normal highlight spots with just a golden highlighter. And then I'm going to apply the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick shade in the color Malice, which is just like a super bright orange, which like obviously you have eyes, so you can probably see. And if you're blind, I apologize. I don't know. And then I just clean it up around the edges with the concealer, just so everything looks good and sharp. I think it helps personally with longevity. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see more stuff from me or if I'm wasting my time. Bye!